Nate was once feeling the urge to record a video in his garage after he had already witnessed enough paranormal activity, as he described. So it started out like a normal video, checking on his gadgets, looking around. One thing to mention, he works in a cemetery, and this garage or shed happened to be in the cemetery he works at. So what happened? Well, at first, there seemed to be nothing happening. The atmosphere was genuinely comforting and, as described by him, a typical morning at the cemetery. But then it clicked. It clicked with these spirits as the first object dived to the ground on its own. He checked behind and immediately saw what had fallen. It was a knife. Nate had seen enough, so he opened the garage gate. It was shiny. The sun was in the perfect spot. It was hot and the sky was clear. And Nate gave the all-time sweaty American stance with a wide, fake, white, perfect American smile. That was so sweaty that it triggered the ghosts, which caused yet another paranormal activity to happen. I don't know what object has fallen this time around. He didn't spot it. In the other video, and this time it was a cold night at his house, Nate said he has been hearing strange voices, a deep voice, and seeing his weird dog's behavior. So he went downstairs from his bedroom and began looking around. While he was not paying attention and talking, there tended to be a voice speaking in unison while Nate was talking. It was dark and creepy.
All right, we are here at the cemetery, 6 a.m. and it was like a disco party in there when I pulled in. The lights were flashing, flickering, whatever they do. Good morning. I mean, I appreciate the warm welcome, but this lack of sleep is really starting to get to me. But yeah, these lights were, it was like a rave in here. They were like strobing on and off. Good morning. Another night of like 4 hours of sleep. So it's gonna be a rough one. What the hell are those doing down there? Okay, we're gonna start this already. All right, I see ya. Good morning. I did say good morning. Good thing is I don't smell that nasty smell. That is a plus. And I will say it is a beautiful day compared to yesterday where it was rainy and stormy and gray and gloomy. It is a beautiful day. Sunshine. Christ. I don't know what that bang was on. Cement mixer maybe? Door? Ooh. Do you not like the light? Sunshine? You don't like the light? Is that why you're hanging around? It is like 3 in the morning, I think. 3:30 in the morning. 3 in the morning. But I'm hearing a deep, deep voice down here. Such a deep voice I'm hearing. It woke me up out of a dead sleep. And it just said, come here. Come here. Like I thought I was in a dream, but what the hell? I'm going crazy. Like I woke up, I thought it was in a dream. So I woke up jumped up and I didn't hear it, so I laid there for a second. And then I was hearing it again. And it was like such a deep voice. It was just saying, "Come here." And the dog was just frozen on the bed. She would not come downstairs. Like, I don't know if she was waiting for me to come down, but she would not come downstairs at all. Oh. Okay, so she just came down.
These ghosts can really do some voiceovers. If you listen to the video, and if you heard it correctly, you can tell that voice was deep and grungy. This next video gives you one more reason why you shouldn't camp in wild areas alone. Not because a partner would really give you a lift up, but at least he could be sacrificial bait if you face some kind of monster where he could buy you enough time to find a way out. And if you think I'm over-exaggerating, then think again. Once you watch the next clip and put yourself in his position, you will wish you had a partner in his situation. The guy seems to be camping in an RV, and I don't think he had someone with him, but he noticed something odd deep in the dark. Something that looks nothing like a human, and based on his body shape, it's not a wild animal either. Glowing eyes between the trees, staring the man down. Not that long after the stare down, the figure completely vanished in the dark, almost like it teleported from its place. The guy couldn't tell what this freaky figure was and called it a skinwalker.
Alright, no lie. I'm on my back porch. I heard something stomping in the woods. Something huge. Why is it coming closer? I have no idea what this is. It's like right up here. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little freaking spooked right now. I'm not afraid of you. Show yourself. I stood my ground. I saw your eyes. The eyes were not visible. I couldn't see anything. I had my flashlight on. I couldn't see anything. This thing is big. I'm not that high off the ground, but I'm high enough to where I thought it couldn't attack me until I saw how high its eyes were. There it is. Sounds like it's walking up here. I don't know if you can hear this. I'm trying to be quiet. Alright, no lie. I'm on my back porch. I heard something stomp.
That's definitely more like a shape-shifting djinn figure to me, and before you jump on me with rage, skinwalkers, as they are called, are actually djinns. They just have different names. Just like ghosts, it's an adjective that also describes a djinn. These things are creepy, but that's of course if this wasn't staged, but based on the guy's reaction, it seems genuine. In this day and age, whenever I see an Uber driver video on TikTok, I always come to think, what paranormal occurrence will take place this time? because no normal Uber driver will think of uploading a video to TikTok without it being taken from the static camera that is usually placed in the middle of the car. I mean, I wouldn't say ever, like, yeah, there are many videos of Uber drivers outside that camera perspective. But as I said, in this day and age, and I'm more specifically talking about the last 2 years, in the next video, we have an Uber driver who sounds Hispanic. He got an order from a faraway area, but he thought to himself, it was about time before I got a clip for the Inter. Little did you and I know, this man already has a decent following on social media, so he isn't trying to milk content. Or is he? Because he made many videos of this next case. He did accept the order, despite it being far away from him. When he arrived at the area, he noticed the buildings. Yeah, I mean, there must be buildings, that's normal. Except for these buildings, many of them look deserted and abandoned. He finally found the passenger, and it was not pleasant that he found him or her, I'm not sure. It doesn't seem like that's the passenger who requested the ride, but no one else was in that area. And the reason why I'm saying it doesn't seem like it's the one is because it was a dark freaking figure. That figure hopped in but asked for a candle, so the driver answered the call and drove to a supermarket. After he went back to the car, that figure figured out a way to scare this man even more, so it vanished. In the third part of this series, from what it seems, either he returned home or came back to the spot where he picked that figure up. Either way, he found the figure there.
A la bestia. Aquí me marca la ubicación. Hay mucha gente que me pregunta que qué es mejor, si trabajar de día o de noche. Yo recomiendo, si van a trabajar en la aplicación, que trabajen de noche. Porque en la noche, pues bueno, sí te arriesgas mucho, pero la cantidad de dinero y de viajes es mucho mejor. Ahorita voy a tomar un viaje, de hecho. Ya estoy por llegar. Y es de 300 pesos, o sea, y es rápido, o sea, porque es de noche, no hay tanto tráfico. Ah, es aquí. Mi gente. A la bestia. Aquí me marca la ubicación. Ay, güey, qué pinche miedo. No sé qué hacer, la subo, ¿no? Disculpe, ¿pidió Uber usted?
Sí.
A nombre de Cintia.
Sí.
Ok, súbase. Buenas noches. Arrancamos el viaje. Voy aquí rápido al Oxxo por un suero, señorita. Que sí me estoy sintiendo un poco extraño. ¿Gusta algo?
Una veladora.
¿Una veladora? ¿Una vela?
Sí.
Ok. No me paro, señorita. ¿Una veladora?
Sí, por favor.
Vengo por un suero. Siento muy mal. Listo, señorita. Ay, disculpa por la parada. No mames. ¿Qué pedo? No mames. ¿Dónde está? Se fue. A ver. No se metería al Oxxo. No, no mames, no puede ser, mi gente. Ya no está. Y me encargó una veladora. Ah, chingado. A ver, a lo mejor sí se metió el Oxxo. No, ya, vete. Mi gente, por favor, ayúdenme. Hay una mujer o un hombre que no sé qué sea. No sé qué quiera tampoco. Ay, no, qué horror. Mi gente, por favor, estoy solo. Ay, no, ¿qué quiere? Por favor, no me hagas nada. Ay, no, estoy muy desconcertado, mi gente, por favor, ayúdenme. Ay, no puedo respirar, me está dando ansiedad. No, papi, los seguros. No.
I don't know what he or she is, but what I know for sure is it's not normal, especially since the area where he picked the passenger from is an almost completely abandoned part of the city. But since when can ghosts use phones and order an Uber? Lou is an innocent old man, or so as he appears. He is a very wholesome dude with a big heart. How about you also write a poem about him? You're talking about the man as if you had already made a relationship with him and as if he were some kind of idol to be considered. Lou is a friend of the investigator, and he has called him for help to investigate the house and try to expel the demons living within, to perform some exorcism. Perhaps these ghosts take a shame of themselves and leave before they even began having a conversation about the terrifying events. Lou showed the man a plate that was cut perfectly from the middle. The middle part of the plate was cut like it was extracted so perfectly that even an expert in cutting glass will feel behind if he sees how it was cut. How ghostly talented. But these ghosts have many talents, like making a man go to sleep when he can't. Before we got to that part, as the conversation was going between Lou and the investigator, the curtain was acting a bit less curtainly than usual. In other words, something seems to be happening. You might mistake it to be tingling because of the wind, but that wasn't the case, and it will be proven later in the video. After the curtain phenomena, a fire was ignited. It turned out I left the stove on and there was a gas leak. But when it comes to the video, the fire was ignited in the hallway, catching the attention of the two, while the door of the bedroom was on a performance of its own, swinging back and forth very slowly, which led the investigator to get more nosy and break into that bedroom, only for the curtain of the window to be pulled, followed by the dressing table shaking. Due to the high intensity of the paranormal, Lou was choking. While he was on the couch choking, some ghostly hands tried to grab him from behind, but the curtains blocked their way. In the end, the investigator was on his own after Lou lost so much energy, only for some human-like figure to appear from the mirror to tell the investigator, "You will never walk alone."
Só vai lá aproveitar do cara, do negócio.
Já
não é isso.
Muita gente
Não é
já
isso.
falou mesmo.
Acha que eu tô aproveitando da ocasião.
Eu que não entendo nada, falei, não é desse jeito, né?
Luz, quantas vezes você não me agradeceu pelas coisas aí e as coisas por trás que eu te ajudo? Que eu não preciso falar esse lado, entendeu? Então eu não preciso, mano. Bom, pessoal, o Lúcio tem aqui pra dizer o quê? Ele me contou sobre um sonho estranho que ele teve e que não era lá.
Uma coisa
Não, mas aí os caras já falou que tá livre, pode ir,
tá,
né, Lúcio?
Então,
Pronto,
tem
cara.
achei uns 2, 3 ranchos lá, nós vai dar um pulo lá um dia de noite, né?
Tá certo.
É, porque todo lugar que a da gente, né? A gente tem que correr tudo nos lugares, né?
É claro.
É, nós não tava aqui, depois nós não foi
Pessoal,
no rancho lá,
antigamente, quando eu... Que é isso?
Sério, coisa.
Rapaz, que é isso, Lúcio? Dá uma olhada nisso aqui, velho. Minha nossa, olha isso, pessoal. Cara, é impressionante ou não é? Cara do céu, dá uma olhada nisso. É assustador ou não é? Que é isso? Minha nossa. Eu peço licença aqui do local. Olha aquilo, olha aquilo, olha aquilo. Olha aquilo, olha aquilo. Quem é que está aqui próximo a mim? Minha nossa. Olha isso. Olha isso. É assustador ou não é? É assustador ou não é? É, Lúcio? Olha a quantidade de abelha morta aqui, ó. Olha isso, ó. Olha a quantidade de abelha morta aqui, ó. Olha isso, cara. Minha nossa. Caramba. Opa, olha isso, olha isso. Cara do céu, Lúcio, é impressionante, cara. É impressionante aqui o local. Quem é que está entrando em comunicação comigo aqui, espírito? Que foi, Lúcio? Não, 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 não. Vem pra cá, vem pra cá. Cara do céu, você é louco. Vem pra cá. Senta aqui, Lúcio. Senta aqui você. Rapaz, a casa do Lúcio ficou inteira esfumaciada. Olha isso aqui, ó. O que tá acontecendo, Lúcio?
Ai, tem um negócio ruim aqui. Um estranho.
Estranho?
Ai.
O que você tá sentindo? O que você tá sentindo? Fala pra mim.
Uma dor no peito, na barriga. Ai, escuro, escureceu tudo, não tô enxergando nada, Ulisses.
Calma, calma. Opa. Nossa. Olha isso, pessoal. Vocês viram aqui, cara? Calma, Lúcio. Relaxa. Olha isso. Olha o jeito do Lúcio. Cara, é assustador ou não é? Olha o lugar todo esfumaçado aqui, pessoal. Cara do céu, minha nossa. Arabaquei, arabacai. Saia de ré, Satanás. Saia de ré, coisa ruim. Relaxa aqui, Lúcio. Calma, 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 calma. As pessoas dizem sobre os relógios parados aqui no local. Quem é que está aqui próximo a mim, espírito? Nossa, cara, olha isso. Olha isso. É assustador ou não é? É assustador ou não é? Eu vou estar fazendo o seguinte, pessoal. Vou ter que abrir todas as janelas aqui no local, dar uma arejada, cara, porque está horrível aqui. Cara, olha eu junto do Lúcio. Você é louco. Cara, é impressionante, não é, pessoal? Escuta. Minha nossa. Que é isso? Você é louco. Minha nossa. Olha isso. É assustador ou não é? É assustador ou não é? É impressionante ou não é, pessoal? Quem é que está aqui próximo a mim? Cara do céu! Minha nossa! Cara do céu! Que é isso, mano? Olha aquilo! Eu falo pra vocês, cara! É assustador ou não é? Saia de ré, Satanás! Cê é louco, velho! Eu peço nada. Venha nos encontrar.
I like how the figure was wearing a blue shirt this time around, not some black cloak of some sort. It's either a real Jinn figure shape shifting or they were on a rush while filming the video. It was creepy nonetheless. Since it's almost time for students to be back at school, I would like to say, one day you will look back at this school and tears will be flooding your eyes. But I'm not here talking about your school specifically, the one you studied in. I'm referring to the school in the next video. There's something odd about what I just said, that my viewers have all been above the age of students since the beginning of this channel. But let's see what Alonzo had encountered when he decided to visit the place he once hated, though nostalgia had other words and brought him back to where he once belonged. I feel like I'm writing a novel here. So, the investigation began where Alonzo seems to be in the gym class. There was a chair right in front of him. Alonzo was tired and wanted to take a seat, but the chair that was in front of him had no seat board on it. It was just a frame. The chair took a step closer to him. It moved towards him by itself. He couldn't handle it, so he charged right towards the room in front of him. There was where the real ghost party kicked in, and the only ones celebrating it were the ghosts themselves, while our investigator was trying to be nice, telling them, "I just want some answers. I want you to get close, but without harm." The ghosts had their way of responding to him. At first, noises began surrounding him from every section. Some were coming from the ceiling, others were from behind him, and more were almost coming from my direction. Parts of the ceiling were deteriorated, like a metal pipe that began shaking. There was a table. I'm assuming it was a table. That thing swung multiple times on its own. At one point, Alonzo almost swore that he saw a shadow figure, while from behind the windows, there seemed to be prints of small, ghostly hands. The investigation was intense, and many times the door of that room was slammed behind the man, almost as if these ghosts wanted him trapped in there. Even when he was leaving, that chair we talked about earlier gave it one last shot. Maybe the investigator had changed his opinion and decided to take a rest on it, but he was just scared more.
Estaban muy abajitos. Muy bajitos, amigos. Vamos para allá, para adentro. Vamos para adentro. Hola. ¿Alguien se encuentra aquí? Buenas noches. ¿Alguien está aquí conmigo? Hola. Hoy. Hola. ¿Quién eres? ¿Quién eres? ¿Quién está aquí? Allá adentro. Solamente que vas a ir te encuentras en este lugar. ¿Qué es lo que necesitas? ¿Por qué estás aquí? Ay, la madre. Déjate ver, ¿dónde estás? Uy. Uy. ¿Dónde estás? Está afuera. Está afuera, afuera. Ay, la madre. Ay, a ver. Si estás aquí, manifiéstate. Solamente queremos verte. No me asustes, no me asustes. Déjate ver. Uy. Uy. Uy, escuchen. Uy. Uy. Ay, Dios, sí, lo que se escuchar. Sí, lo que se escuchar, amigos. Uy. Sí, lo que se escuchar. Sí, lo que se escucha. Yo sé que te encuentras aquí. Yo sé que estás aquí. Solamente déjate ver. Queremos saber si se encuentran con nosotros. Uy, miren mis pies, aquí están. Uy, algo están arrastrando. Algo están arrastrando. Hola. Amigos, en la ventana se mira como si hubiera un niño, amigo, asomándose. Uy. Uy. No sé si ustedes lo ven, pero se mira como si fueran manos, miren. Machín, amigos, se siente machín como que... Oye, escuchen el ruido. Escuchen el ruido, escuchen el ruido. Hola. A la madre, algo viene. Algo viene, algo viene, algo viene. Algo viene. Algo viene, algo viene, algo viene. Algo viene, algo viene. Uy. 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 Escucha la voz otra vez. La bolsa. La bolsa. Uy, oh madre, qué perro se siente. ¡Y alguien se asomó! ¡No manches! ¡Alguien se asomó, amigos! Se los juro que alguien se asomó. Se los juro que alguien se asomó, amigos. Alguien se asomó, se los juro que alguien se asomó, amigos. Se los juro, se los juro. Uy. Hola. Alguien se acaba de asomar, amigos. Uy. ¿Alguien está ahí? ¿Hola? Ay, Dios. ¿Qué es eso? Alguien se asomó, amigo, la neta, sinceramente. Alguien... Ay, Dios. Uy. Ay, no mames, no mames, no mames, amigos. ¿Alguien está aquí conmigo? ¿Alguien está aquí conmigo? Oye, ¿escucharon? Parece como si hubiera alguien ahí atrás de la puerta. Parece como si hubiera alguien atrás de la puerta. Bien, 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 bien. ¿Vieron eso otra vez? Parece que hay alguien ahí. Hola. Hasta la voz se me fue. Hola. ¿Alguien se encuentra aquí? A la madre, ¿qué fue eso? ¿Qué fue eso? ¿Qué fue eso? ¿Qué fue eso? ¿Alguien se encuentra en este lugar?
That poor chair, it tried to be a chair for once, to be used like his fellow chairs, but rust has already eaten it from the inside out. It's no longer functional. Ghosts have taken over it too. I'm getting a little emotional here. Please excuse me. This next video got stuck with me so much, to the point where I was beginning to think I was hearing the video inside my head. Like seriously, I was even listening to a song and I began hearing a strange sound. I was like, I have listened to this song like hundreds of times, but I have never heard this part in it before, and it sounds creepy. I realized it was from the video itself, which wasn't even playing in the background. Perhaps it possessed my laptop. Nahual is what may be a mythical creature in the folklore of Mesoamerica. It's believed to be some sort of sorcerer who could shapeshift. Why am I telling you all of this? Do I really want to feed you more knowledge? Well, that's none of my business. I'm telling you that because the next video may trick you as it did me. It takes place in Mexico, where 2 security guards heard a strange sound that sounded like a dog who is on demonic steroids. In the security camera footage, you can see a dog frozen in his place, standing by a gate maybe, and the sound is coming out from his direction. I thought it was a normal dog, even though his voice doesn't sound right, but I read the description of the video and it seems it was more of a shapeshifter.
¿Y a poco es un perrote grande?
Sí, porque su cámara de Brian tan lejos.
A las 12:30. ¿Y qué se desaparece?
¿Ya viste?
¿Y a poco es un perrote grande?
Sí, porque su cámara de Brian tan lejos.
A las 12:30. ¿Y qué se desaparece?
Perhaps this dog was seeing a ghost and acting on that behalf, but either way, that isn't normal barking or a normal howl. I know animals can make some weird sounds at times, but this was way too unnatural. You can always consider yourself unlucky when you live in a haunted house, but you may also abuse the haunting of the house by building a community around it. Like, you can just start documenting your experience and posting it on social media. But our guy in the next video isn't just living in one of those haunted houses. No, he is living in a circus. The place is so active that he doesn't even need to wait until night to record some of this paranormal stuff. That doesn't even give justice to how paranormally active his house is. You know, I actually thought it wasn't even his house. Yeah, I would never think anyone could be able to have a normal day living through all of this. Shoaib Khan, he is our man. He is not our man, as if he will save the guy in the next video. He is the one struggling in the next video. As he enters his house in the daytime, he hears some noises, so he opens the door of one of the rooms, only for the pots and plates to start falling off the shelf. One day, the weather was windy, but only for Shoaib. In other words, the weather was actually fine, but the way his tree leaves and the lights were moving and swinging made it almost seem as if the weather was extremely windy that day. Or how about the iron ironing on its own? It was literally as if the ghost was holding it to iron a shirt. You know the broom from Harry Potter. Even if you don't know Harry Potter, the broom that witches used to fly around in fantasy stories, Shoaib has one of them in his house. I also thought it was just a fake. It turned out to be real. While Shoaib was walking around the corner, the whole house seemed to have opened up for him as a way of greeting. In other words, doors and windows were opening for him, while 2 chairs walked out of the room to say hello. This paranormal activity was nonstop that I couldn't catch a breath.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi gore rana auras da rana auras gore ha rana auras da gore ha humni da margaru rana auras da ha parana auras da ali ha da gore ha la ilaha illallah muhammadur rasulullah مرګرو تاسو ته وپدره چې زموږ په دې کور کې پیریان دي دا درېمه شپه ده چې سیکړ خوب هم دې نه دی کړی مرګرو دا تاسو وګورئ که نه دا د شپې 12 بجې دي دا تاسو وګورئ قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. یا الله خیر خدای خیر دا تاسو ګورئ ښایې دا تاسو ګورئ دې ته تاسو ګورئ. یا الله خیر یا الله خیر یا الله خیر دا تاسو ګورئ ښه د شپې 12 بجې د سیکنډ خوب هم دې نه دی کړی زیره دې زیره بس د پیریانو ماپ هم کې زیره دې زیره زموږ د څه غلطي شوي پیریانو ماپ هم کې بس دې زیره دې زیره دا تاسو ګورئ هېڅ څوک نشته دا سټارټ دی دا تاسو ګورئ ښه د شپې 12 بجې دي دا تاسو ګورئ. یا الله خیر یا الله خیر دا تاسو ګورئ. یا الله خیر یا الله خیر خدای خیر یا الله خیر دا دې برګرو ښه دا وګورئ دا وګورئ. یا الله خیر دا تاسو ګورئ ښه ستاسو د مخې د هر څه دي دا تاسو ګورئ ښه. یا الله خیر خدای خیر. السلام علیکم مرګرو دا تاسو ګورئ ښه پرانا ورځ زموږ کره دا ال دی دا تاسو ګورئ ښه. یا الله خیر یا الله خیر دا وګوره ښه غونډ لوښي راته ولي. یا الله خیر قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. یا الله خیر خدای خیر یا الله خیر دا وګورئ مرګرو ښه. یا الله خیر یا الله خیر یا الله خیر پرانا ورځ دا زموږ کره علي ښه مونږ دا کور څو پیرې دا کو څو پیرې او دا علي یا الله خیر یا الله خیر یا الله خیر خدای خیر. مرګرو تاسو وینئ که نه دا د شپې 2 بجې دي تاسو وینئ که نه تاسو موږ پسې ټوغې او مزاقې کوئ موږ ځانه په مصیبت کې یو تاسو موږ پسې ټوغې او مزاقې کوئ. دا وګورئ دا وګوره دا وګوره ښه. یا الله خیر یا الله خیر قل اعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس اله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. یا الله خیر دا وګوره ښه موږ په مصیبت کې یو تاسو موږ پسې ردې بدې وایو کنځلې کوئ. دا وګوره ښه تر شپې 2 بجې دي دا وګوره ښه مرګرو بس موږ د سبا سهار وختي د دې کور وځو بس د زموږ زړه پوخ شو مرګرو دا وګوره ښه. یا الله خیر یا الله خیر دا وګوره. یا الله خیر یا الله خیر یا الله خیر سبحانه استغفر الله الله اکبر. یا الله خیر.
السلام علیکم مرګرو دا په کچن کې ناسو مکنه او باره الله غسته دی خطا سو ګوره. یا الله خیر یا الله خیر استغفر الله الله اکبر. یا الله خیر یا الله خیر یا الله خیر وګوره خمر ګرو. یا الله خیر یا الله خیر تاسو ته مو ویژن ګورې کوټه پیریان دي خدا واړه دي دا وسه دا وګوره خه پورته سره را بار کړی ها. یا الله خیر یا الله خیر یا الله خیر استغفر الله الله اکبر وګوره ها. یا الله خیر یا الله خیر قل اعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس اله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. یا الله خیر سو دې رکا سو کې. یا الله خیر یا الله خیر یا الله خیر وګوره ها. یا الله خیر سو دې رکا. یا الله خیر یا الله خیر استغفر الله الله اکبر. یا الله خیر سو دې رکا. یا الله خیر یا الله خیر یا الله خیر.
مرګرو تاسو ګورئ کنه بیا زه په کور کې الله غسته دا وګورئ ښه سو بیرې موږ دا کور دم کو دا وګورئ ښه. یا الله خیر یا الله خیر یا الله خیر یا الله خیر دا وګورئ. یا الله خیر یا الله خیر یا الله خیر یا الله خیر دا وګوره ښه. یا الله خیر یا الله خیر مرګرو هیڅوک به دې کور کې نشته دا وګورئ ښه. یا الله خیر یا الله خیر قل اعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس اله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. یا الله خیر موږ سو بیرې مرګرو دا کور دم کو او تاسو کله د جنکو نمبر را لګي کله د مرګرو نمبر را لګي دا اوس غب نه دی مرګرو ما ته نمبر را سینډ کې د چا سره چې نمبري د مولا ما ته را سینډ کې صحیح ده پلیز تاسو مهرباني وکړئ دا نمبر را سینډ کې دا وګورئ ښه هیڅوک به دې کور کې نشته او دا حال دی دا وګورئ ښه. یا الله خیر یا الله خیر یا الله خیر یا الله خیر دا وګوره ښه روزانه دا علي ښه موږ څو بیرې دا کور دم کو. یا الله خیر خدای خیر یا الله خیر.
The first time I saw him, I thought he was just another one of those who stage their videos, but I'm no longer including him in that category. Not sure if it's real, but this kind of intensity is too rare to see. I don't know what place this investigator went to. It doesn't look like a normal abandoned house you would see, though it's abnormal since it's haunted, but what I mean is that it's typical. However, I wasn't talking about the place itself. I meant the type of jinn that haunts it. I have seen an investigation done in a gym before. I even featured that video on this channel, though the ghosts in that video were somewhat of the regular type. Here in the upcoming footage, these ghosts seem to be on a grind, and they were showing off during the video so much I thought they were in a contest of some sort. Jassem entered this place with full confidence, but after he saw the first interaction, he knew he was up for an uneasy night. He began scanning the place, inspecting what's on the floor, trying to find out if some homeless man has occupied the house so Jassem can back himself up in case some random attack comes out of nowhere. Then he began hearing noise. It was more like light footsteps, as if someone were walking on his tippy toes. This grew more fear of someone trying to sneak up on him, but his suspicions were cut short when the first object was thrown behind him. He rushed to find its source but couldn't tell what had been thrown with the amount of garbage scattered around. To make sure that we are seeing what he is hearing, they moved a wooden board right in front of him. But when I said these ghosts were in a contest of heavy lifting, I wasn't joking. Each object that was being thrown is heavier than the others. From one room to another, Jassem was wandering, from a vegetable basket to a shoe cabinet, to a closet, to a full-size sofa, and if Jassem had stayed longer, they might have found a refrigerator and thrown it at him.
في حد؟ في حد؟ بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. حصنت نفسي بلا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. في حد؟ بسم الله. في حد؟ بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله. لا إله إلا الله. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. لا 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 لا. سمعتون؟ سمعتون أن في صوت يا جماعة؟ لا إله إلا الله. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم. لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤذ حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم حصنت نفسي بلا إله إلا الله توكلت على الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله لا إله إلا الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا إله إلا الله 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 بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله لا إله إلا الله لا 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 كذا كفاية يا جماعة معليش معليش يا جماعة
If I'm not mistaken, these ghosts did throw one of these on this man, like targeting him directly. But imagine if one of these ghosts decided to show up physically. It would be a jacked, full-size ghost. Tagamori is investigating a haunted house in the next video, and this house story goes all the way back to the past. You really thought I was going to tell you an exact date. I'm not that good of a guide. The history of this house is a bit dark. In fact, it's not just a bit, it's so dark that it makes the darkness look brighter. And if you ask me personally, it's so dark that I should shut my mouth and continue the story. In a nutshell, the story is very basic. A family of 2 parents and a girl were living a very happy life in Japan. And since we are talking about the Japanese family in a horror video, then it's one of 2 things. Either they were killed by a thief, or they took their own lives. Here, it is the second choice. The girl took her own life after she had a mental disorder, and then her parents completed the cycle and did the same in the same spot. Now let's go back to our investigator. Togo went on exploring each and every room. Of course he would have done that. I mean, that's the whole point of the story. Imagine if he only checked on the room. And as he was going around looking for something unusual, he actually did manage to see what he was hoping for. He never had to use the toilet more than 3 times in a day. This time, he did it 5 times. Also, he heard some sounds in the background. Not from his stomach. I'm now talking about the paranormal. It sounds like someone is knocking on doors. Sounds like someone is walking behind him. Sounds that I only hear when I haven't paid the rent for 3 months. I would always feel like someone was behind me. And that's exactly what Togo has encountered. He didn't encounter my renter, he encountered what looked like a shadow figure. This figure also has nice, shiny long hair, which can be seen when he was sliding under the bed.
失礼します。で、前回ね、来た時にこの部屋からさ、勝 ツンカツンカツンって音が聞こえててさ、僕とさんはね、それを聞いて、まあ全く同じ推測をしたわけだけど、
ああ、ぶつかってたってことか。
ちょっと待って。なんかちょっと待って。このうめき声みたいなの聞こえてるのかな。明らかに2階の方からうめき声みたいなの聞こえてますけど。びっくりした。今ちょっと神経が高ぶってるっていうのも原因としてあると思います。ここに住まれてる方ですか？嘘つけと書いたのは誰ですか？幸せですと書いたのは誰ですか？すいません。この女性はカメラ目線じゃないんですよ。自分の僕の後ろを見てるかのような、こちらを見てないですね。あれなんで電気消えてんだろう。もう充電切れしたのかな。もう充電切れしたのかな。もう充電切れしたのかな。呼吸音みたいなものが時折聞こえたり、どこかに隠れてこちらの様子を伺っているような、そんな風に見えますね。
I don't know if this picture is of the daughter who passed away, but whether it was or not, it was scary. Not the daughter was scary, it was the way the picture changed. I know that feeling when you're in total fear and you try to calm yourself down, so you start making up some excuses for your fear. I mean, I do that all the time because I'm always in fear. Unfortunately, I can never have a time of comfort before my fears tear me apart. I have been like this for almost 3 years. The next case is coming from a family that was forced to change their mood from laughter to horror after they went through some difficult days. It began when they heard noises around their house, so the wife logically told her husband that he, as a husband, has to man up and go outside to see where this could be coming from. It doesn't matter if it's late at night, freezing cold, and snow all over the place, let alone that he was sleeping, and God knows what could be making that noise. He signed for this. So he went out while recording and thought these strange, loud noises were trees exploding because of the weather. He even wrote that in the caption of the video to remind himself to calm down, though the next time, things got even weirder and perhaps much scarier. You can call it karma if you believe in it, but this time, it was the wife who had to face this bone-chilling activity. The light was flickering and had been doing so way before she began recording. But what followed this weird activity, which some people may explain as a malfunction, especially in the cold weather, proved that it's far worse. A chair slid off from where it was on its own. Before, the front door was knocked wide open somehow, which made her scream like no one I have ever seen.
Wait for it. Listen. Trees are just falling left and right. Sounds like a one out here. These are the ones that I'm concerned about. We're losing whole trees all night by the minute. Try to keep the vehicle safe. Got lucky there.
Right now this light has been steadily blinking for about 20 minutes and maybe 10, and I just don't understand why. Okay, now it's like not blinking at all. I guess it's okay now. Hello? 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 Who's here? Who's here? Going back inside the house. Oh my God!
To be honest, that scream was so loud I didn't even know what I heard at first. I thought maybe it was the sound of the wind after that door was opened, but after multiple replays, I realized it was her, and her scream was so loud it literally broke the bass of the audio. But what happened to her that night did deserve some sort of a strong reaction. Just like this video deserves a strong reaction from you if you haven't subscribed or watched the next video on screen yet.